Um, okay. Hello, guys. This is Aisha Makara and the artist voice. Today I have Sofi Phinix from Germany. She's an artist. Her art is a little bit abstract, but she will share with you who she is and what's her art about today. Yeah, Sofi, welcome.
Thank you. I'm really honored, actually. I didn't expect that. It's really cool. So, yeah, art has always been like a big part of my life since childhood. And as a child, I was painting a lot. And then in my teenage years, I focused more on dancing. And then I wasn't painting for a while. And then last year, I suddenly started again. And yeah, now I'm creating almost every day.
What type of the art do you create? I mean, because it's very different, actually. I saw it as different.
Yeah. So I'm creating very abstract art, pretty psychedelic, like fractal-ish. Yeah, like it's pretty overwhelming for many people, but but yeah, I feel like you saw a couple of my paintings, right? On Instagram?
Yes. I mean, I'm following you on Instagram, so yeah, I see sometimes you posting, and I understand the way you like creating it. You're always experimenting. Right now, I'm feeling like you're experimenting a lot with colors and the way you're drawing it, and yeah. It feels on the art. I don't know. I feel it, for example.
Yeah, that's great, actually. Yeah, I really like when people give feedback. It's always very different. But I feel like that if I want to show people what's inside of me, it would be 100% my paintings. Like all this like chaos and like different crazy patterns. It's really just what's inside of me that I need to express. And yeah, I don't know. I am really experimenting right now because it's, since the pandemic happened, everyone has a lot of changes in their emotions and in their life. And I feel like it's reflecting a lot in our works as artists. And yeah, that's what's happening currently.
How does it, for example, you live in Germany, and how does it work? I don't know, like in United States, I don't think like an artist getting any support from government. I don't know, like, is it any different in Germany? Like, do you have, I don't know, like, how does it work in Germany for the artists? Like, is it good environment, like good environment for the artist to create there and actually to have a name or like to build something there in the community, in the German community?
So I'm not really in a community in Germany, but I would say that we are very privileged here because me, for example, I'm not making any money with my art yet. I just started out, so I'm not really making money with it. But since we have like a social system, everyone's getting, paid for nothing. We don't need to work to be supported here. So I feel like, yeah, it's a good place if you're an artist and you're like starting out and you want to experiment and make a body of work without actually working besides creating art. But I really don't know how it is for actual artists, that make a living with it. I don't know how it is in Germany. So yeah, but we get supported a lot here financially. For me, it's perfect because I can create my art and I don't have to go and get a job or something. So yeah,
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I mean, I used to live in Norway and Sweden before, and I know that the social system is so good there. It's like, yeah, people are really like, government really care about their citizens. Yeah, I know. I mean,
privilege.
I experience, yeah, privilege is great privilege. That's true. So you just started right now, and And I see that you kind of like experimenting a lot with your art. And I have just few questions I'm asking artists. And this is one of the question I have. What inspires you to create your art? What it's like, why you're doing what you're doing, and what is behind that? Maybe you have some story, and you can share with us.
Yeah, so as I said, I started out last year. I reconnected with painting, and honestly, that happened because I was in a really difficult, like, emotional and mental state after very formative experiences on my travels. And honestly, what led me to painting was pain. Very simply, it was I just needed a vessel to express what I was going through, and I didn't really have like a therapist or a community to support me. So very organically, I started to paint. It just happened like initially, and I think that's also what keeps inspiring me. Like my inner processes, the stuff that is going on within me is basically what's inspiring me in my art every day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
very beautiful. Yeah, it's deep, by the way. I feel the same, actually.
Yeah, I was already worrying because I can get really deep and dark, but I don't think it's a problem for you.
No, I don't, like, for example, I also started last year, but I haven't um worked deeply. I just started to create and create and create, and I didn't think like, oh, I'm an artist, or maybe I should do something with that. Actually, the idea come when I moved to United States, and I started to create more, like, every day. And I said to myself, wow, I should definitely do something with that. And yeah, and I started to sell my art, and yeah, now it's kind of more, yeah, now it's
So it's
like the artist
now?
voice. Yeah, many different ideas in my head right now. I'm still working towards what is important for me here, and I just starting as you like also started last year, and haven't even think about like haven't even thought about like what I want to create with that. And it was just like a hobby. Now it's like more like a work. But not work. It's like a joy actually for me. It's even not work. I don't call it work.
Exactly. But I mean, obviously, it's amazing when you can make a living with it, you know?
Exactly. I feel like it's a for the artist, it depends. Again, you get to be social, not just introverted, but also extroverted. It's like you get to kind of like combine this two part of of ourselves. Like, I don't know, I'm feeling like I like to be introverted, and the same time I get to be like extroverted and go and socialize myself, and be in social media. And I'm still like kind of like working with that, because it's not easy for me to like all the time sharing and sharing and sharing. And I feel like it's important actually for the artist to share. Is important, like your art, your story, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and all the things. This is why I started this channel right now, asking artists.
That's true. It's really true. Because I feel like also what keeps us going, what keeps us make art is the feedback. Or, you know, when you see that something happens within a person and they see your painting, that empowers you, no?
Yes.
Like for me, that was the reason why I kept painting and why I made the Instagram, because people started to see what I was doing. And I don't know, I think that's the only reason why I kept doing it anyway. So
Exactly, because it inspires you, it motivates you. That's great. Yeah, what impact do you want to create with your art? What type of the impact you see?
So now, especially with abstract art, for me, abstract art can create a bridge to our unconscious, you know, um, to our parts that we don't really understand, that we don't really are conscious of, that we are not seeing in our conscious life. And, you know, especially when you're on a healing journey, especially when you try to improve yourself or grow as a person, you need to go into these places. You need to go beyond what you know, beyond what, you know, what's familiar to you. And I feel like art can be that bridge to these spaces that are so uncertain. And I really hope that the people that are around me are inspired to experiment with that, to try to use abstract art or just expressive art to find out more about themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you mean like do you mean you want to like show to the people that each of us is artist, or like each of us can actually go and express what we have inside to the outside, to the paper or to the canvas or to the whatever we feel like to create with, which whatever materials we want to create. It doesn't need to be like acrylic, or it doesn't need to be like ink. It can be whatever, and like we can just go and express it and share it and show it, and like, because sometimes I'm feeling like emotions we don't understand. Sometimes we cannot even understand what we're going through. Like I was sometimes I think like as a child, when your mom abandoned you, or like when you don't have a parents, or when your parents are divorcing, or when your dad is alcoholic or whatever, you know, like drug addict. It's like kids go through different experiences, emotional experiences that we even, you know, we cannot understand, but we started to understand when we are like older, and we started to express it through the art. Maybe some of us, I'm just thinking why we create the way we create, why we're choosing the materials we're choosing, and what's behind that. Like I'm going a little bit deeper in the roots. Sometimes I'm like thinking about that, like why I'm creating, why I'm choosing the colors I'm choosing, what is behind that. Like, is this happiness, or like, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe I'm just like escaping, don't want to like create something what are really inside of me. I don't know. Sometimes we're like so I sometimes I don't understand what I'm experiencing, or my emotional experience.
Yeah,
I just cannot express it, and this is why I'm like trying to express it on a paper or like on a canvas, and
yeah, you put it
I still don't know.
exactly. Like many paintings that I made, they happened in extreme madness. Like I had episodes where I had like nervous breakdowns and I started painting, and then later you look at it and you're like, what the fuck? Like in the moment it doesn't make any sense. It's just emotion, it's just madness. But then you see the painting and you see, you know, it made sense, you know? It's like you created this with your emotions, and it's really empowering. And what you said about like childhood trauma and stuff, everyone has that. Everyone has childhood trauma, everyone, no matter what background. And I think for everyone it's healthy to reconnect with that part of themselves. And that's what I mean when I say that art can be the bridge to that.
Exactly.
And it's weird, obviously, when you never painted, when you never like created something creatively, then it's weird. It's weird to just take red and do something that doesn't make sense. But if you keep doing it, it makes sense in the end, and you feel better, and it changes something within you. At least for me, it did.
Yeah, I feel the same. I started to experiment with acrylic right now, and I'm experimenting a lot. And before I was doing with the brushes, and now I'm just like whatever.
But
For the second, yeah. It's, I don't know. Maybe it's my connection. Maybe it's yours. I don't know. So, thank you for sharing. I have. How do you see your role in the art community next 5 years? I mean, in German community, or like a German art community, maybe in a global art community. Like, it's your vision.
To be honest, I don't see myself in Germany at all. But anywhere else but Germany, I'm sorry, but it's just not my country.
Where you come from originally? Which part are you from?
Originally, I'm from Georgia, not the state, but the country, Georgia.
Oh, nice. I've been
Yeah.
in I haven't been in Georgia. I've been in Armenia.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
it's really
originally
beautiful.
I'm originally from Russia. It was like
From Mongolia, right?
yeah, but like I grew up in Russia and I was living in Norway. The last 12 years I used to live in Europe. Yeah, different
Yeah,
countries.
like a nomad, like a gypsy.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I am probably true because like sometimes I'm feeling, oh, maybe I should settle down and be in one place. And now I'm encouraged myself to be in one place at least like for 5 years.
But it's hard, right?
What I can grow. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I enjoy it very much. I feel like I mean,
like,
exactly. Because like I'm feeling like right now our generation we have this like no boundaries anymore, and like how you can create these boundaries within, and sometimes I'm feeling like what I can do, what is my country where I belong to, because like I was traveling around the world and I'm feeling like so many beautiful countries. I love all of them in different ways, and where I want to like live my life, what I want to build and why I want to build it, what makes sense for me, as a human being. Because I stopped to look at myself like, oh, I'm a woman, or like I look at myself as a human being and how I can contribute to the global community. Because right now we live in a global world, and with no boundaries. And I believe maybe like sometime soon, I don't know, but we will not have any boundaries. I hope one day, and we will be like, remember the song of the John Lennon?
just disappears sometimes.
Yeah, I said like, do you remember the song of John Lennon?
What'd you say?
Son of John Lennon.
The son of John Lennon? No, I don't know him.
John Lennon he sung, imagine all the people.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so I believe that this one day is going to happen as well. I'm kind of a believer.
Yeah, I'm believing too, but I don't think it's gonna happen soon. I used to believe that it's gonna happen in my lifetime. And actually now these changes that are occurring right now, they could make it evident, but if we stay realistic, I don't think it's gonna happen very soon. But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen one day. I don't know when. Maybe now, lifetime, maybe not. Doesn't matter. Yeah. The matter that it's going to happen, and we got to continue to believe in that and trust that it's going to happen. What challenges artists face nowadays? What do you think? What kind of challenge you face because you're you just started your career, and what do you think is one of the main challenges?
I think it really depends on where you are, on the, I don't know how it's in English, but like the bureaucratic stuff, on like the paper stuff. For me, that's a big challenge because as an, how do you say, entrepreneur, you have different rights, you have different rules that apply to you. And I feel like for young people, that's the biggest challenge, how to start a business by yourself, how to do the insurance and all these numbers. And I think that's going to be my biggest challenge. But that's in Germany. I don't know how it is in the USA, or I've been to countries where they don't have these things at all. You can just be an artist and make money and nobody cares. And other challenges. Another challenge could be that there are so many artists out there. And in terms of making money, it could be hard to get like clients when there's so many artists, clients that stick to you. But otherwise, I don't really see any challenges in the inspiration department. I feel like now is such an amazing time to be inspired and to be creative. So yeah, I think the challenges are more on the material side, no?
I feel like, for example, my opinion about challenges. It depends again. It depends on the country. It depends on the environment. It depends on what we want to create and why we want to create. There's many different like layers into that. Um, this is how I look at it. For example, I believe the most successful artists, they they have like a network. This is why they become so successful, because of their network, and the other artists maybe don't have that network. And now we have
Mhm.
opportunity actually to get into that networks. And I don't know, I still like kind of like, because of coronavirus, I don't know if we have some good let's say network environment where artists can like present themselves, and that network can help us to grow, you know, like where like this circle, or like the network of artists who support each other and help each other to grow, you know, like because I think like we all have talents, and each talent is unique and different, and we get to like see what's direction, or like where we can go, you know. For example, my art can take me somewhere, your art take you somewhere, like, and each we will create a path, but how we can mentor each other and help each other to, you know, uh,
Mhm.
to create that path, or like to following that path, and hold each other accountable towards that. Accountability is also very important, because many artists like just give up because they trying and trying and trying, and because they feel lonely, and they just
Mhm.
feeling like, oh, maybe it's not me, you know, and maybe I should do something else. I have my friend right
Mhm.
now who was great artist in Brazil, and moved to Luxembourg, and now he's working for the company. And he says to me, Aisha, I don't want to be anymore artist. I don't see the reason to be artist. And I was like, okay, well, it's your choice. But he was successful. He's done like different exhibitions. He sold his art, and he wanted to do more art back in Luxembourg. I don't know. Each of us is different. So it's not about like he feels lonely. It just he doesn't have any more passion. Maybe now, maybe later is going to change. We don't know.
That's what I think. I think sometimes it stops, and then you have a new stage in your life, and after that it can come back in a different way, but it can come back. And I feel like with creative people, it's always like that. You know,
Exactly.
sometimes, don't you remember, like when you were a child, you would be like dancing or singing or painting, and then in your teenage years you just stopped with everything, and then later it came back. And I think it's always going to be like that, one way or another. Like
Yeah,
it's just, maybe it's just like a long creative block for some people.
yeah. I mean, I feel like it's good to make a choice and decision and just work. For example, I feel like if I decide to be artist and I'm learning and I'm taking like, let's say like a classes and get a mentor, and I'm very curious about that, and I'm learning, and I'm not just learning, I'm also like creating action around that, and like all the time like just testing and testing and testing the boundaries. And so I'm thinking like after a while I will understand if I want to go uh, like longer, or like, you know, create some kind of idea of that, what I want to create, the vision of myself as an artist, or like what kind of artist it is. For example, if you look at Picasso, he was an artist all his life, and he created something very unique in art industry, or like in art environment. And I'm feeling like when we commit to something and we're consistent about that, we can create something powerful after a while, because we're practicing and practicing and practicing, and because of the practice we create something powerful. I don't
Mm.
know, I just believe in that. I don't have, I'm just like looking at the artists who painters who been painters all their life, and the way they build it up all these years, who they became, because maybe they didn't have idea, but after a while they create that
Mm.
idea of themselves, and they become like, you know, immortal. We're still talking about them. You know.
Exactly. And I think, you know what I think with these artists is that it's not actually us who create this identification with ourselves as an artist, I think it's the commitment that you make to the spirit of art. I don't know how to put it in words other than spirit. You know, I feel like when you keep doing it, if you keep, because it's like when you create art, for me, it's like birth, you know, like an actual birth. It's like you get pregnant with an idea or an inspiration, and then you give birth by painting, and then in the end, you have that baby. You know?
Yeah, that's true. And it takes time sometimes, because like when you started to create it, like you just leave it, and after a while you come back to that, and after a while you come back again. And I was like, in the beginning, I was feeling like, oh, I get to like finish it. You know, I was always thinking like I get to finish. And now I came to the state where I'm like, okay, well, I can finish it when it's a time for that. Right now I'm moving to like to the new work and I'm new idea, and I'm like, some of them coming up very fast, some of them it takes time, and I can just accept it, and it's fine. Before I would blame myself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so lazy. Why I'm not doing it? Why I'm not creating it? Why I don't have inspiration to create it now? Like now I understand it, that it just takes a little bit of time to, you know, to get the baby out.
Yes, get a baby, and the baby has like a mind of its own, no? It's
exactly.
Like I always feel like I'm not painting. I feel like I'm being painted. You know, I'm being, something is doing it.
Exactly.
And sometimes the thing is not there. Sometimes it's somewhere else in the universe, and then it comes back.
That's so true.
Yeah, I think that spirit is what forms the artists in their lifetime, if they keep committing to that spirit.
That's true. This is what I'm experiencing right now. I'm going through the like thinking, and I'm thinking like I'm an artist, and I want to commit my life to the art. And I was thinking like, oh, I should probably go to the art school and do this and do that. And now I'm thinking, you know, I have so many mentors out there through the Instagram, through the different Facebook pages, websites, and you know, I can just go and ask people and just take their classes, and I don't need to go and to the art school, or like I just, you know, get this mentors there. They're all there. Like I'm connecting with you. You're sharing me your like your background, and I'm listening to you. Like, and this is why I actually created the artist voice, because I'm feeling like I'm learning all the time by asking just the same question. And the funny things, each artist responds differently. And and it's beautiful. This is the beauty of life. Like each of us have a different opinion about the same question, different you know, answer to the reality that we're living in as well. And I'm feeling like, wow, that's so amazing. I'm so grateful for that. You know, it's beautiful.
It's
it is. I'm like amazed. Really. I'm always like so happy, and it inspires me actually to connect with the artists and invite them to the interview and listen their voice, what it is to be an artist. Yeah,
it's really beautiful. It's an honor, really.
It is, because if you
and
look
also,
at it,
yes. Also, I feel like when I started to post my stuff on Instagram and I got feedback from other artists and I got to know other artists, it's like a new world, no? It's like a completely new kind of family. Like people, and it doesn't matter if you create abstract art or if you create realistic art, it's still kind of the same spirit. It's still like art. It's still creativity that comes through us, and it's really, it's weird, but it's awesome. It's great to share and to feel, yeah, like belonging to a community that lives the same kind of way.
you know, art doesn't have a boundaries. If you look at this as well, art is like worldwide. It's like art is going to be exactly the same everywhere in the world. No matter where you go, it's going to be art. The same as music. You know, it's it's a worldwide language somehow, art, or like music. Sometimes I'm asking myself, oh, the music is so powerful as well. Like people who create the music, they don't need to communicate anything. They just put the music on, and you will understand everything, what they're experiencing, what they're going through, like the emotional, you know, when they're being sad. Every time when I'm listening to the Mozart or Chopin, you know, they all of them has different like spirit, but they commit to their music. They commit. I love to listen to the Mozart because this is something, you know, I'm connected deeply to his music because I'm feeling it's so happy, so positive, light. Each, you know, each composer has different vibe of the music and energy of the music. The same with art. I'm feeling like your art, you will attract specific people to your art. I'm attracting the people that attracted to my art. So it's like it's different vibe. It's different, you know, people that attract to something that we creating. And we don't know, you know, and like I mean, I still don't know. I believe like everything is energy, and we just kind of like guide, or we can flow with the energy. Sometimes we can like kind of help through the art, especially through the art, we can maybe like navigate it a little bit, or with music. I don't know. And the last question is a little piece of advice to the artist who's just starting their career like us.
I wouldn't say I started my career yet, but to anyone that wants to start being more serious about their art, just I would advise them to connect very deeply with their process, with the artistic process, to even talk to their work sometimes. You know, sometimes when I paint something and I just can't keep going, I start talking with the painting, like, okay, what the fuck, you know, like start to engage, because I really feel like it's alive. And you know, start to go deep there, start to connect with the art itself, and just commit and keep going, and you will learn so much about yourself. And there's, if someone says it's not really resonating with me, it doesn't matter, because there's so many people that will see your painting, and it will affect them in a way, and something within them will be happy to see that painting, you know. So really just keep going. The life is too short to not paint or to not create art. Like, why are we here then if we don't create something from what we are?
Exactly. I agree. That's so beautiful. I agree. Thank you very much, Sophie. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was an honor.
Thank you very much. I'm so grateful to have you here today, and I hope we will stay connected, continue create what you create. It's very powerful and you're very inspirational. Continue to inspire other artists and other people around you and your community. And yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Germany. Thank you to Germany because you're there. Thank you to the German community that they actually allowed artists to feel free to express themselves. It's beautiful.
So true. Thank you so much, Aisha.
You're welcome.